Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something that, well, it catches everyone out sometimes. Homophones.
Hmm.
Those words that sound exactly the same but mean completely different things. And they can cause some, let's say, interesting moments.
Oh, definitely. We've been looking at an episode from English with Confidence, one called The Dark Side of Homophones. Why There Will Ruin Your Life. Pretty dramatic title.
Ah, yeah, it grabs you. So
Okay.
our plan today is to really pull out the key stuff from that source.
Exactly. We all have that little pause, don't we? Is it T-H-E-I-R or T-H-E-R-E or, your versus your?
Right.
So, yeah, this deep dive, it's about getting you past those hurdles. We want to pull out the best bits from the source material so you can use these words confidently, and just avoid those common slip-ups.
The slip-ups that can sometimes make you look a bit, well, careless.
Precisely. So we'll focus on what the source calls the most dangerous homophone traps, why they even exist in English.
Which does feel a bit cruel sometimes.
It does, and crucially, some solid ways to, keep them straight in your head.
Okay, let's start with those dangerous ones then, because English with Confidence really dials up the warnings here. They
Hmm.
basically say mixing these up is, well, it's bad.
They do. It's quite striking. The first big one they flag is the classic trio. There, and there.
Ah, yes, the old favorite.
Right. So there, T-H-E-R-E, that's about place, like look over there. Simple enough.
Hmm?
Then there, T-H-E-I-R, shows possession. It belongs to them, their car, their problem.
Got it.
And there, T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, that's just short for they are.
And the source, they really don't mince words, do they? Calling it a grammatical war crime if you mix these up.
It's intense, but memorable. You have to admit, it makes you pause and think.
It does, and they gave that almost funny example sentence.
Right.
They're there.
Yeah, just reading it makes your brain hurt a little.
Exactly. It perfectly shows how wrong it can sound, especially, I guess, to someone who really knows the language well. Why are these three so easily confused, though?
That's a good question. I think maybe it's because they all relate back to that concept, the third person plural.
Ah,
One's about where they are, one's about what they own, and one's about what they are. That connection, however subtle, might be what trips the brain up.
that makes sense. Okay, what's the second danger zone the source highlights?
This one they call the relationship killer.
Wow, okay. Even more dramatic.
Right. It's your versus your, Y-O-U-R versus Y-O-U apostrophe R-E.
Okay, so your Y-O-U-R possessive again, like your phone or your idea.
Exactly. And your Y-O-U apostrophe R-E is simply the contraction for you are.
And why relationship killer? That seems extreme for a typo.
Well, the source connects it to things like Twitter feuds. It suggests that in online chats or texts, getting this wrong can really annoy people.
Ah, I see. It's seen as maybe lazy or like you don't care enough to get it right.
Something like that, yeah. It implies a lack of attention, maybe. And they give this example, the text disaster.
Ah,
Someone texts, "You're beautiful," meaning to say, "You are beautiful," compliment, right?
right. Classic compliment.
But "you're beautiful" sounds like you're talking about someone's beautiful what? It flips the meaning completely. Instead of "you are beautiful," it becomes possessive.
Oof. Yeah, that's awkward. Have you actually seen that kind of thing cause problems?
Oh, yeah. Online, especially. I saw a comment once, someone meant "you're totally right," but they were "you're totally right." And the replies just exploded about the grammar, completely ignoring the actual point they were trying to make.
So it derails the whole conversation.
Totally. And it kind of, damages their credibility in that little exchange.
Okay, so we've covered the war crime and the relationship killer. What's the third one on the list?
This one's called the silent killer.
Intriguing.
It's its versus its. ITS versus IT apostrophe S.
Right. It's, no apostrophe, is the possessive for things or animals. The cat chased its tail.
Exactly. And it's with the apostrophe is always, always short for it is, or sometimes it has.
Why silent killer? Does he just sneak past more easily?
I think that's the idea. It might not be as immediately jarring as the others, maybe, but it's still wrong. And it can subtly make a piece of writing feel less polished, less careful.
Hmm.
And the source has this great little pro tip example. It's its fault.
Huh. Okay, that works.
Yeah.
Correct. But definitely highlights the confusion potential. It is its fault.
Precisely. It's grammatically sound, but yeah, feels a bit evil, as the source put it.
And they shared a listener story for this one too, right? Something about a work email.
Yeah, apparently someone wrote "you're dumb" instead of "you're dumb" in a professional email.
Ouch. Not ideal.
Not ideal at all. And the person felt it could genuinely harm their career prospects. It just shows these aren't just, pedantic grammar points. They can have real consequences.
Definitely makes you think twice, especially in anything formal or professional. We maybe don't always realize how much weight these little words carry and how we're perceived.
I agree. It underlines how important clarity is in writing and how easily these small errors can create misunderstandings or just a bad impression.
Okay, so now we know which homophones are apparently out to get us. But the source also talked about why they exist. Because it does feel a bit like English is playing tricks on us sometimes.
It really can feel that way. Well, the source points to a few historical factors. A big one is just how much English loves to borrow words.
Right, it's a melting pot of languages.
Exactly. Take flower and flower. They sound identical now.
Yep, Flower, Flou.
But flower comes more from Old French, related to blooms. Flower has Latin roots, flos, also meaning flower, but it came to mean the milled grain, so different paths.
Same sound destination in modern English. Got it.
Yeah. And another thing is silent letters. English is full of them.
Oh, yeah, like night and night.
Perfect example. That silent K in night means it sounds just like night. K-N-I-G-H-T, N-I-G-H-T. Sound the same, toward the different meanings. You just have to learn them.
It's pure memorization at that point.
Pretty much. And then the source adds, contractions kind of muddy the waters.
Yeah, I can see that, like where, were, and where.
Exactly. All sound very, very similar, especially spoken quickly. Where is we are. Were is past tense. Where is about location.
It's easy to just type the one that sounds right without thinking about the spelling or meaning.
It really is. Contractions are convenient, for sure, but they definitely add another layer for potential homophone confusion in writing.
So the source has a tip for this too.
Yep, a simple one. If two words sound the same, assume one is a trap.
Okay, a bit cynical maybe, but probably good advice. Be suspicious.
Exactly. Better safe than sorry.
All right, so we understand the big traps. We've got a bit of the history.
Yeah.
Now, the really practical bit. How do we actually stop mixing them up? The source gave some strategies, right?
Yes, and these are really useful, concrete things you can do. First up is the expansion test. This works great for contractions like you're, there. If you're not sure, just try saying the full words instead. You are, they are, it is, or it has. If the sentence still makes sense with you are, then your is the one you need. If it doesn't make sense, you probably need the other word, like your.
That's smart.
Yeah.
It forces you to check the grammar, not just the sound.
Exactly. Then there's the possessive check. This is for words like their, your, its.
Right.
Just ask, does this word show that someone or something owns something? Is it possessive? Like their cat. Does the cat belong to them?
Yes.
Then THEIR is correct. It focuses you on the job the word is doing.
Okay, focus on function. Makes sense. What else?
There's the location hack, specifically for there, THERE. The source suggests linking it in your mind with the word here. Both here and there have HERE in them, and both point to a place, a location.
Well, that's clever. Like a little visual or spelling like
Yeah.
HERE in both. Nice.
Yeah, it creates a handy mental hook.
And wasn't there a listener tip mentioned as well? Something about saying it differently in your head.
Yes. A listener suggested mentally saying your equals yours, linking it to other possessives, and your equals you are.
Making the distinction really explicit in your mind.
Exactly. It makes the difference less abstract, more solid, especially maybe when you're typing fast or not concentrating fully.
That's a great set of tools. It's also kind of reassuring to hear that it's not just learners who struggle. The source mentioned some common mistakes that even native speakers make.
Oh, absolutely. It makes us all feel a bit better, right?
Totally.
A huge one is writing would've, could've, should've.
Oh yeah, you see that everywhere.
You do, but it should always be would, could've, should, the contraction for would've, could have, should have. As the source rightly says, of is a preposition, it's not a verb. Would of just doesn't make grammatical sense.
It's one of those things where the sound kind of overrides the logic sometimes, I guess.
Exactly. Your ear hears UV and your brain writes of. Another common pair is then and then.
THEN, THAN.
Right. Then EN is about time or sequence. First we do this, then we do that.
Okay.
Then AN is for comparisons. This is better than that. They sound really similar in fast speech.
Yeah, the vowel sound is subtle, easy to mistype.
Very easy. Proofreading is key there. And one more the source mentioned was the trio. Peak, peak, and peak.
P-E-A-K, P-E-K, P-I-Q-U-E.
That's the peak, E-A-K, like a mountaintop. Peak, E-E-K, is a quick look. And peak, I-Q-U-E, means to, like, arouse curiosity or maybe annoy someone.
Different spellings, different meanings, but that similar sound again.
Exactly. Still potential for error if you're rushing.
So if you're really, really stuck on one of these, what's the final advice?
The source gives a great final pro tip. If in doubt, just rephrase the sentence.
Ah, the escape hatch.
Pretty much. If you're hesitating over it's or its, maybe you can just say it a different way entirely and avoid the problem word altogether. Find a detour.
That's actually really practical advice. Don't struggle, just rewrite.
Sometimes it's the easiest way. There's usually another way to phrase things.
Okay, so bringing this all together, this deep dive into the dark side of homophones, the goal really was to give everyone a clearer picture, right?
Yeah, absolutely. To understand why they're tricky, know the main danger zones, and crucially, have some tools to actually use them correctly. It's about building that confidence.
Those little mental checks can make a big difference.
For sure. And I liked the closing thought from the English with Confidence source. Now you're armed. Homophones want you to fail, but you're smarter than them.
Huh. Nice. It's like a mini pep talk with correct homophone usage, naturally.
Exactly. It puts you back in control. With a bit of awareness, you can definitely master them.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Just try to notice homophones a bit more over the next few days when you're reading, when you're writing. See how often they pop up and how subtle but important those differences are.
That's a great exercise. And speaking of diving into language, next time we're tackling another gem from English with Confidence.
Oh, yeah. What do we got?
Get this.
Yeah.
How to swear like a native and not get fired. Because sometimes you need to say bullshit properly.
Wow. Okay. That sounds essential.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Should be interesting.